thing I have ever experienced in my life. I got fired from working at Red Robin for doing that. When do we get to bury him in a thing and jerk off on him, though? I'd say I can take on 3 11-year-olds. And he clicks the button, and he's just this woman cussing him the fuck out.
Okay.
This is the weirdest theory I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, in a lot of ways, Big Boy's never left. I agree. He will tell you I'm a bad driver, but there's no evidence for that. I have intuition, and I'm deep, and then, dude, people fall for absolute monsters on a regular basis.
Hey, hello this week. You're listening to Two Hippies, One Drunk podcast. I'm this week's host, Eric, Fady, I guess. And I was trying to decide if I've ever said my last name or not. I don't know. Thanks so much for checking us out. If you have not liked our Facebook page or subscribed to our YouTube channel, we'd really appreciate that. Stuff like that and sharing posts that we make really help us grow the audience, which is, of course, the goal. This show is a little different than many other podcasts in that we rotate hosts each week between 3 longtime comic friends, including Tyler, Charles
right here.
Charles and Scott Ryan over there in the red shirt.
I like the way you raised your hand like you're a school attendant.
I was waiting for him to say it. Just to the listeners, well, I guess the watchers, I'm waving to them.
There's actually, yeah. So, what was I going to say? Did I have anything else? I was going to say there's actually one person. Hey, it's July, dude. It's fucking. I'm from doing radio and another successful podcast for a long time. These are kind of the dog days. Like, even though you guys don't watch sports, for example, even I know, like, this is like today is like the only day in America sports like there's nothing on because baseball had its all-star game last night. So there's like. It's just one of those times, if you pay attention to media, that July specifically is just really low.
Wasteland.
Yeah, wasteland, dude. Because people go on vacations. We all, we all think that the summer, like, oh, there's so many places in the country that are warm. Dude, even Vegas gets cold in the winter. So, like, this time of the year, dude, people like getting outside. Maybe not in California right now, but other places, people like getting outside. Anyway. This week's episode, I was trying to come up with something, and I decided to go with this. I decided on like pet peeves / bad habits. Pet peeves that we have that me or either of you have with other people, and I figured we should come up with some bad habits maybe that we do because I wasn't sure if pet peeves would be
pet peeves that we inspire in others.
Yeah,
I mean, I inspire a lot of those. I'm sure. You know the thing about having pet peeves is. I just saw this literally this week. Someone on my Facebook page shared a post about how like she was on the beach and she's like, do you have to, I'd like to be at the beach and just listen to the tree, or the water and the birds and shit like that. And I don't need you basically complaining that somebody was coming there with their
with music.
Oh, did you really? That's hilarious. Yeah. I didn't. Okay. Yeah. And so she was like, someone said to her, like, she's mad because like, can't you just be by yourself? Or you hate yourself so much that you can't sit there without
play your Spotify music at the beach.
Right. Yeah. And then somebody was like, she did say that sometimes her friends remind her to like take her own inventory. And that's just the truth. Because the reality is when it comes to pet peeves is that anything that we're about to list, dude, some people won't care at all. And the reality is I probably have 10 of them. And if people know me, they're like, oh, he does this fucking thing or, whatever that he does. Yeah. It's just humans. It's how we are, I suppose. We have things that annoy us.
Nitpick, yeah.
Yeah, really. Nitpick. And usually the more you get to know people, actually the worse it gets, I suppose. But it is.
Yeah. That list gets bigger the longer you know somebody.
And the longer you age, I would imagine. Because I will say this. I don't know. I figured we'll do this. We'll get to these ideas here in a second. But I did notice when I started trying to write ideas, I'm 37 now, and like some of them just borderline on. I'm trying to decide what's the difference between a pet peeve and just being an old man. You know what I mean? Like getting older and just being like
and complaining about everything.
You know what's funny is like I feel like like what you're saying is the stereotype. I find the older I get, I'm swinging the other way. To be honest, I'm like,
really?
You know what, man? I'm too fucking tired to care about what you do.
Like, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just whatever. Like, we all have shitty habits. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely leaning more into everybody sucks, and I need to.
That's very true.
Yell at them on my lawn.
Right. I mean, it's like,
what is the difference between that? I feel like, age. You at that age, you figured out all the things to complain about. So
that's a good point.
Know all the little
right,
problems
but you're also more obnoxious. Have you ever met a middle-aged or an old person?
Yes,
they're awful. Nobody wants to be around them. They're a string of bad habits.
You're talking to one right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like
a string of bad. I still feel like. So you're saying that old people complain the most and are the epitome of pet peeves.
Yes, they complain the most, and they're also the least desirable to be around.
That's fair. But Tyler said it right. I think Tyler said it right. I think some of it, it all depends on the person. Obviously, there's going to be some people that are more positive than negative. But Tyler's probably right. The older you get, the thing is like, some of it, even like whether it's old man things or it's whether it's experience and now you're just annoys you. Like as an old man, you just have experienced more in life. So like when you're
think about like a montage of a guy seeing the same shit over and over again in his life and him just getting more like bitter to it and like more like, this is a fucking pet peeve. I'll have none of it.
Well, but I mean, he's right, but I think he's right. Like, I just think it's like things like, I'm trying to think like you go through the drive-through lane maybe or something. And it's like, some guy's not making a decision on it's McDonald's and they got 2 lanes and he's sitting there in the middle and you're like, will you make a fucking choice? Go right or left or whatever. And then you try to like, bro. And I think if you're younger, you just kind of like, what are you going to do? As you're older, you just see that guy and you're like, you motherfucker. Like, dude, like just get in the fucking thing. Let's all go. We're trying to get in and get out, my man.
Yeah, because you're more aware of like what you're capable of and you hold people to that standard. And when you're a kid, you don't even.
Okay, this is another reason I think I swing the other way with it though, too. I look at all that stuff from like a top-down sort of way. Like if I'm stuck at the fucking drive-thru line and it's taking forever, I'm like, why the fuck isn't Burger King hiring more people? Why the fuck is there 2 people working inside of there?
Right.
And one of them is trying to wrangle this order out of this confused old man in front of me. Like,
right. Well, the funny thing is though too, like this isn't even, I don't know if it's a pet peeve, but when you mention that, I want to tell like this story. And this is like a story of like, it more like you were talking about like the idea of just letting things go or just kind of, dude, I'm too tired for this. So I was picking up a mobile order at McDonald's a little bit back. Like, I don't want to wait in these lines. I see 30-car lines now. I made my order ahead so I could go pick it up. And I'm inside and they had there's like, dude, 30 cars in each line. I mean, I swear to God, a good 40 cars in line at the McDonald's drive-thru. The guy comes in and he's standing there and he's starting to get mad and this and eventually she goes, hey, sorry, sir, but inside is for like mobile orders, like DoorDash, people that order from their cell phones, yada, yada. He's like, this is bull. He started yelling. I'm like, dude, what did you think was going to happen? There's like 40 cars in the drive-thru. You thought you're going to walk in here and it was just going to be like, boom, boom, snap your fingers and shit. And I mean,
it's kind of ridiculous that guy couldn't just order some food when he went inside the establishment.
Well, you can order it, but I mean, well, see, they weren't allowing me to order
it through the internet. I feel like that would be a pet peeve for me.
She's literally telling him though when he's saying there, she's like, "Sorry, sir, we're not doing." Well, either way, that's not even the point, though. Dude.
You should be aware of it before you go in, but that is some bullshit.
Yeah, no,
okay, well, take that just real quick though. Take that aside. Take that whether you should have been ordered it aside, dude. This is McDonald's, and he did see 40 cars in a drive-thru. So even if they were taking orders on the inside. What do you think it was going to be?
That's true.
Right
That's
away,
true.
sir?
You'd be like, okay.
And so he's yelling at these people who we know right now are understaffed. They're working their ass off for $12 an hour, and they can't say anything. So I start kind of saying, dude, blah, blah, blah. It's McDonald's. Let's take a chill pill, my man, or whatever. And he just gets more and more. And I said one more thing, and he's walking out the door, and he goes, suck my dick, or whatever. I'm like,
to you, or the whole establishment?
To me. And I'm just like, real classy, dude. Real classy,
man. Okay, this is the thing I'm talking about, though, with that, where it is, you don't get to yell at, this is the thing that drives me nuts about modern society, though. You have this guy, he comes in, he rightfully is like, I wanted to get some fucking fast food. Why the fuck would I have to sit in this line for 20 or 30 minutes?
Or go online to fucking
go online.
McDonald's.
Yeah, go through
I get it.
Bureaucracy to like
no matter what I'm waiting.
Food. So you have him on one end, then on the other end you have these employees who are like, we're overworked. We're busy.
We're
we can't.
Dude, so overworked and so understaffed.
Yeah.
And there is a guy up above, some goddamn CEO, some board of directors who's decided that a McDonald's franchise can run with 2 people and nobody gets to yell at them.
Right. Yeah. Right. I get it.
Or that they don't get to come inside and order.
Yeah.
Like that is also a weird rule that they put.
Well, there was something going on because I think they were working. Dude, anyway, we're getting kind of off the rails.
No,
here
these are all pet peeves for me. I feel like
a fast food line is a breeding ground for pet
peeves.
Oh, there's no dude. Yes, like one time.
The people in front of you, the people inside, the people above, everybody involved.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, you got a guy in front of you ordering 55 things, and then you gotta wait. You know that you're behind him, and you have to wait for those things to be made.
When you see a guy at the ordering line forever,
15 drinks,
and I wanted a fry.
I wanted a fry or a drink. I've been there before where I just wanted a $1 drink, and I'm like, I guess I'm waiting here for half.
Right, and dude, so like you're right, and so like this would fall under now we're like in this. I didn't even think of talking about this, but this would fall under a pet peeve / old man, where it's like I don't know if it's old man or I don't know if it's pet peeve. But one time, I don't go to I try not to eat fast food that often because it's obviously garbage for you. But sometimes you're on the road or whatever. And I'm getting there at the McDonald's, man. The McDonald's. And this person in front, I hear them asking questions. I'm like, dude, this is fucking McDonald's.
Yeah,
it's basically the same menu.
Since your birth.
Since your birth. Yes, they've had a few little things here and there, but you should not need to be asking questions at the McDonald's drive-thru line.
No. That menu, I might be able to recite most of it.
Short of, I suppose, like, you still have the Shamrock.
That recite the menu.
Yeah, exactly. Full-on commercials telling you what's in there.
I know, exactly. I am gonna, I guess, get into
we're
list
not getting
here.
paid by them, so.
No, I hate McDonald's, dude. Fuck McDonald's, dude.
We're understaffed.
We're understaffed. Yeah.
McDonald's is the worst at the drive-thrus. When I see these people at 30 lines in the McDonald's, I'm like, really? There's a Taco Bell across the street. I'm sorry, like, dude,
I hate McDonald's food in general. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I think it's the worst.
Top place.
You know what? I've been a vegan for years at this point, so there's nothing at McDonald's for me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There is a specific. It's not good. It is like a fake hamburger taste that is specific to McDonald's hamburgers.
Okay.
Like a quarter pounder.
Yeah. They're very specific.
I miss it. I smell it sometimes and I miss it.
I know, dude. They do.
And I shouldn't.
No, I get it.
No.
It's because it was meant to be addictive.
McDonald's food.
No. And I smell it, and I'm like, I'm kind of nauseous, but I want it.
See,
there's some foods I've definitely
that's interesting. Like I said, I've been on a kick for a while that McDonald's sucks. No, but again, I like Wendy's and I like Taco Bell. That's what I like when I go to fast food.
Same.
I like Wendy's and Taco Bell.
Honestly, Burger King's pretty good too. I like Burger King.
Ugh, fuck that shit.
We had Carl's Jr. out here.
Okay. So
Carl's
when I mentioned
Jr. is always really bland to me. There's no taste to it. It's just like, I don't know. It's like a factory forged piece of food.
I really appreciate they will put the Beyond Patty on anything. I could be like, I want an ice cream with just sprinkle some Beyond Patty on, and those fuckers would do it.
I don't doubt that. Yeah, because they have no taste, so they're like, whatever. Everything
that is funny.
Everything.
No, I would say when I list my favorite fast foods is Wendy's and Taco Bell. I list those because those are the most prevalent in my area. There are plenty of other ones that I like that if you go other places like a fucking In-N-Out. There are other places I like, but they're not right in my area.
Yeah, like very common. Definitely Taco Bell and Wendy's. What?
Just as one more drive-through pet peeve. I actually had this experience like a couple of years ago where like, do you remember when Burger King was doing the bacon sundaes?
No.
This was a promotion that lasted for I swear a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
I do remember that.
I wasn't a vegan at the time, so I was still eating bacon. And it was one of those things where you're like, dude, a bacon sundae?
Yeah,
how does that even make sense?
Salty and sweet?
Yeah, it's one of those things that's so absurd you want to try it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I gotta see what Burger King's whipped up
Was
here.
it infused with bacon or just bacon bits?
No, not even
Okay.
bacon bits. Those motherfuckers took a regular sundae and put 2 strips of bacon on top of it.
What?
I'm not even kidding.
They didn't even chop it up and put it inside.
No.
That's the
What?
move. You chop it, so 2 strips on top of
strips.
essentially what?
Just a regular, just like the little prepackaged sundae.
And that's what it was supposed to be. You didn't go to one where there was some lazy kids or something? You think that's what
I have no idea. I never ordered it.
Did you
again.
ever see it on the menu? Did it have little bacon bits or with straight strips on it?
There were straight strips on the menu because afterwards I saw that.
That is some whack shit that corporate did.
Yeah.
And they
were like,
reprimanded
"We have
it.
too
It was
much
only a few
bacon."
weeks, right?
Yeah,
So
they were like,
they were
we have
getting out
a
of it.
bacon surplus. It's going to go bad.
Yeah.
Like, what can
Why
we do?
wouldn't you still chop it up and put it on there? You could two bacon strips and chop it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Having
why.
a full, it's like, what are you doing? Taking that bacon off and just eating it?
I didn't know what to do.
Sunday shit.
Yeah,
on it?
I didn't know what to do. That was the thing.
I'm looking at
You
pictures of it right now, and it's ridiculous.
I want to show it to me, Eric.
Yeah, it's like-
show it to the watchers, not the
Cool
listeners.
audio medium.
Oh, that is disgusting. That looks like a piece of bacon fell on my Sunday.
Yeah, no.
And that's
like a
dude,
whoops situation.
And this is like the advertisement. This isn't like, I mean,
That's disgusting. Like,
It's as good as they
bacon
can make it
bits,
look.
baby. Or
Right.
infuse it, like fucking mash it up with it.
It would take 10 more seconds.
when you
Just mash it with your fingers.
Uh-huh.
and when you say, you know what's funny about that? Like, dude,
Do
and
it.
I like bacon. I
I
don't
work
eat
at
it
a restaurant. You're
that
getting
much.
food mashed. with
Yeah,
your
I
fingers.
know. Me.
Sorry.
I,
Anyway.
no, it's all right. I don't eat, again, I've tried more and more not to eat as much of this stuff, so I don't eat as much anymore, but I do love bacon once in a while.
Yeah.
And, but I remember back when I didn't care as much about what I ate, when Wendy's came out with the Baconator, dude, I just remember going like, seriously? You just have a sandwich and it's just called is there anything more American than the Baconator? Like,
Yeah.
like it's just a sandwich devoted to that. We put more bacon on this shit than other
Do you
sandwiches.
remember KFC outdid them?
No, I'm trying to
KFC
remember.
Had
When
the double down. There was literally like a Baconator,
Yes.
but with
Two
chicken patties as buns.
as your buns.
Yes.
Or like
Although-
the rib, the what's the McDonald's rib? The McRib.
McRib?
Like that shit is
Oh, that's not-
disgusting, and I
it's-
can't believe
it's-
they made that.
Yeah,
they
it's
still
not.
do stuff. They bring it around every once in a while still.
People act
Heart
like
attacks.
people act like it's good, like it's an event. and
No.
it's like-
Oh yeah,
no,
for
it's
sure.
slop. It's slop
Yeah.
between two buns.
Although I will say,
it
when
is
you
dog
mentioned that,
food, wet dog food.
when you mentioned the double down or whatever, I will say at a festival, music festival one time,
Yeah,
they had a food truck that sold a hamburger with waffles as the buns. It was so fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
It was
that
so
sounds so
fucking-
fucking delicious. I'm not gonna lie. I would eat that
It was so
One
good.
time whatever. We're not getting into pet peeves. I ate a peanut butter and jelly burger one time, and it was
Wow.
fucking disgusting.
That
Oh,
does sound gross.
Yes.
I recently tried a hamburger. They used Beyond Meat, but
Yeah,
a
yeah.
hamburger with barbecue sauce and peanut butter on it.
Ooh, that sounds pretty
It was
good.
Fucking delicious.
Yeah, that
Really?
sounds pretty-
It was so
you can't have
good.
the jelly. The jelly is what cut through.
Yeah.
It was like eating a peanut butter and
That's
jelly sandwich,
interesting.
and then all of a sudden you have burger in your mouth. It was
Man, I might,
disgusting.
Yeah, that's
I might have to
yeah,
try
peanut
it.
butter and
Peanut butter.
barbecue.
It was a revelation. I've never once used that term for a food.
Do you think it'd be good just on a burger or just with Beyond Meat?
No, absolutely on a burger.
Okay, I might have to
Yes,
try that.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what's when you say that
And
it was like,
slap the peanut butter on, like really put a lot on.
yeah,
It's good.
I'm gonna have
It's
to
worth
try it, man. I'll try it. And
For
it's funny when you mentioned that being a game changer. God, I know this is, but I don't really care. We're going on a route, whatever. We're talking.
Yeah, I just did that
When
in
I
my
worked at
head,
Red
too.
Robin, Red Robin, I had never ever had egg on a burger before. and they have a
Famously got
sandwich-
fired for exposing yourself, correct?
Yes, correct.
Famously. It was
we don't
in
need to go.
yeah, the local news.
we don't need to go further
Famously.
to that.
Employee got fired today for playing the
That
fucking.
was somebody's pet peeve.
Oh,
You had a
game.
kitchen manager podcast. You'd be like, you know what I don't like is
When
the
people
employees
show you
flipping their balls.
penises, that is my pet peeve for life. If
No
I see
comment.
that shit.
But I had
Real
never had
problem.
an egg on a burger before, and I thought it sounded disgusting to me. And they have a sandwich called the Royal Red Robin Burger.
Yeah, no, it's
I thought
really
it sounded
good.
gross, and it's so fucking
It's
good.
fucking delicious.
So
yeah.
fucking good. And when I'm
Honestly,
hungover, that's
weirdly,
like
eggs go with a lot of shit.
yeah, eggs are great
All
for
right.
sure.
So,
Thank you.
pet peeve.
No pet peeves
Right.
about eggs.
No.
problem
Anyway,
with pet peeves.
we can get into these.
Yeah, did you have
There
any
is
like
some listeners screaming, my pet peeve is when I listen to a fucking podcast
podcasts and they
don't
never
talk
get
about
to the
thing.
fucking subject?
I know. Well, that's conversation. That's how it works. No, it is what it is. It all came naturally.
And now
so
he's
I
mad
do have
you're
a li-
yelling at him.
Yep.
I do have a list of stuff I put here.
Hello, listener.
Here's what I'm going to start. I'm going to start with one. We'll see how far that goes, and I'm going to have you guys bring up some other ones, and let's say I guess have them be non-fast food related after this, I suppose.
Okay.
But
I didn't have any fast food related ones at all.
No.
Neither did I. I don't remember how we got there, but it doesn't really matter. So I went with
Here we are.
this is a guy thing. A lot of guys like it. You know, it's a quote unquote manly thing, I suppose, at times. But dude, I fucking hate like body sounds, like burps, farts, like guys that sit there and like do that obnoxiously. Like, dude, if it happens,
Like on
it happens.
purpose, or
Yes,
like
they're
not
like,
an accident, like where it's like, oh,
No, not an
this came out
accident.
of me.
It like go for volume, like they're proud.
Yes,
Yeah, or
dude,
fart
like,
on
yes.
somebody, like lift their
Oh,
cheek and like
God.
oh my
get you
God.
with it.
I just find-
Am I giving you
100%
PTSD? From
I just
long
find it
past
so
friendship?
disgusting, dude. I hate it. I don't find any humor in it really at all.
You edged into being one of those guys when we were young.
Yeah, no, he was just hilarious to fuck with. I feel like Scott was more sensitive about that than most people.
So
And
were
he
you just
deserved
doing
it.
it to mess with them, or
I
were you
hate
becoming
it.
that?
I was doing it to mess.
That's what every I'm farting and it's
No.
hilarious.
No,
guy
I
is
did
doing.
that only to you. I was not farting on other people or burping in their face. It was just his visceral hate. I had
Gotcha.
as his best friend, you have to antagonize your other best friend at some point.
That is totally different to me. That is a
I was
different
definitely
situation.
not that guy in any other group.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you guys like? So it sounds like Scott. I don't know if you've changed your opinion since then, but it sounds like at one point you were really against it. Like, have you ever changed on that? Are you if you're sitting around a group of guys and some guys like, hey, dude, you know,
But that guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
That guy is immediately an
Especially-
idiot in my mind.
especially
Like,
even
you're a
when-
fucking jackass.
And even when I'm saying that, even when we're talking about this, I'm saying like when we were like in our late teens.
right.
You know what I mean? If you're in your 30s, like
No, you're
get better
sad.
material.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even get better. Just stop it. Stop it. You're not funny, and you're never gonna be.
And burping, dude. So burping.
You're 30 and trying to burp in people's faces.
Being a beer drinker, yes, it does happen. Like I will
I'll
burp
have to
here and there.
fart sometimes. I'll burp because
Right.
I drank something with fucking bubbles in it, but like it's never to someone.
Yeah, and when they try
At somebody.
and when they try to make it louder, like specifically, they work on making it
Yeah.
louder. Oh my god,
God.
it just bugs the
Yeah,
fuck out of me.
if you're 30 and you're trying to do the alphabet with burping, like get the fuck out of here. That's a real problem.
All right, well that was one of them I had on mind. You guys want to share
You wanna
something
go
that
with
you
one?
would be having?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay, I thought this would be
What's
a good one just because this happened to me last night. And like
Yeah. Oh wow,
I felt
nice.
like one thing, do you ever get in those situations where somebody else is being the asshole so clearly and yet they are mad at you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
Like,
sure.
you know, I mean, I know it's a little bit of an abstract concept, but I believe we've all had that happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was trying to think of myself. I think that I think I could be an asshole. I think I usually get it if I'm being like, I don't think I'm usually like, you know, but I definitely, maybe I have been, but you're right. We all
I
have
think
been
all three of us are self-aware enough that like we're
mostly.
not,
I'm sure at times it could happen,
going
but
into- yeah.
go ahead.
Because I'm not talking about for it. I'm saying like there was actual anger and
Just get into the
this
story. You should tell
Yeah,
me the
yeah,
story.
yeah.
So I pull into my apartment complex and like this asshole truck is like there's like 5 people in this truck. They're all packed.
This sentient truck.
They're yelling. Like,
it has a personality and he hates it.
Like, windows down. Just, it's like 10:30 at night anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
They're playing music. They whip out and like they almost hit my car. I slam on my brakes.
Yeah.
And then they keep going and they back into another car that is parked. And now at this point, it's like a skinny line into and out of my apartment complex, and they're horizontal on it, so they're completely blocking the way. And another car pulls up behind me, so now there's a line of cars like behind me, and I'm having to sit here and wait because the guy saw his car got hit. So now they're coming out. And they're shining their flashlights and they're inspecting to see if there's any dents or whatever.
Oh my God.
And so
they haven't moved the car, so they're just sitting there.
Moved the car. So I'm here for like 3 or 4 minutes just watching this drama play out.
Oh my God. And, I'm getting mad just like fucking thinking about it.
Exactly. And then this guy ends up getting like, he ends up being like, you know what, whatever, it doesn't look like you damaged my car. He helps them back out. Like he starts doing the little finger thing. Go, stop, or whatever. And they pull out, but now they're facing me. And I can't do anything because there's a car behind me.
Oh my God.
They start honking their horn and flashing their lights at me.
What?
And right. So I start going, I'm like doing the like arm thing. Where I'm like, what do you want me to do? What the fuck do you want me to do?
You need to back up.
You need to back up.
Oh
and
my
they're
God.
like yelling at me out of their window.
Oh my God.
And they're going, fuck you, and they're flipping me off. So then I'm like, fuck you, and I'm flipping them back off.
Oh my God.
And then they drive past me and throw a lit cigarette at my car.
Oh my fucking humans!
You have a pet peeve for extremely weird situations,
dude. You know what, man? I really try to be a positive person. I really try.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
There are so many assholes. There's so many assholes out there. You know, this isn't exactly your situation, and I'm not gonna. We can talk about it more. I'm not trying to. But when you bring up cars, like, dude. People, there's actually a page and I'm friends with in Michigan that they share photos of people doing this. So it's not why I'm bringing it up, but I had 2 of them just yesterday. And here we are, like you said, trying to think about this. This happens to you last night and it's kind of similar. And it's like, dude, people that park and they take up like 2 parking spaces and shit. And it's because they got some big truck.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that, but goddamn,
dude, I didn't buy the big
it makes me want to key your car.
I didn't buy the F450. You did. So if you can't put it in a fucking space, then park in the back of the goddamn parking lot.
Yep.
It's not my fault you can't fit it in. Not my fault.
Agree. And a lot of the time, it isn't even just big cars. It's cars that are nicer, and they think they earned that spot.
Then park in the fucking back.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about bad habits and stuff too. That's probably one of mine.
Oh, and boy.
I don't have an excuse for it.
Yeah, you have a shitty car and you don't even care about it.
I drive like a little hybrid, but I'm not going to lie. I park like I'm playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, I will literally.
You son of a bitch.
I know, he is a son of a bitch.
I swing in, I hit park, I jump out of the car.
You son of a bitch.
You know, I'm good to go.
He is the reason I scream when I go.
You know what, though? You know what? I will say, the one thing that maybe redeems me on this, I'm not one of those I gotta park in the front of the parking lot sort of guys.
Yeah.
I'll park way in the back and walk.
Oh, well, then it's okay. To me, if you're about
that is okay. Yeah.
If you're
you parking right in front of our apartment in 2 lanes, that's right up front.
In your apartment?
I don't know about all this.
In your apartment complex?
Yes.
That is fucking. Oh my God.
No, he's a monster. He's a monster.
That's absurd. You are a bad driver.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he is.
No evidence.
To quote the intro.
No, plenty of evidence. Several people telling me that riding in a car with Scott is like going in a child riding a go-kart.
You know what sucks about Scott? Is Scott's car is probably not that great. No offense, Scott.
My pet peeve is Scott's driving. There we go.
Right. There's a pet peeve. You know what sucks?
Is judgmental passengers.
Yeah, I bet it is because they're trying to keep you alive and safe.
Right. Some people don't want to die like you do, maybe. So
I've been in like 2 vendors in my life.
I don't know. I mean, it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
It is science. It is science. It is not science.
You know what
I don't know
sucks
how
is
many
Scott-
hit and runs that you've had that you never got caught for. We don't know the records on this.
Well, I mean, we've all backed into a car before and drove away. I assume.
Yes, we have.
But here's the problem: Scott probably doesn't even. No offense, Scott, but I'm sure you're not driving a BMW around, and so you can't really damage Scott. But what I do to these people when they're the nice cars, Tyler, when it's like, I have a blah blah blah.
Yep.
If I'm at like the Walmart shit, dude, I take a all I can do in my own little way of like I'm gonna get them is I just take a shopping cart and I put it right up to their fucking driver's side door.
Yeah.
Like right up to the driver's side door. I don't touch it. I don't touch their car.
I would never do anything, but it does invoke the need and want to key their car.
It's funny. Sure. You know what's funny about this? When you think about it, honest to God, I bet if you talk to people, you don't talk about pet peeves, like there's probably not much that invokes such anger. But I think it's because like you're driving to the mall, you're going in, you're like, I just want to go into Rite Aid and get my thing or whatever. And if there's like a spot up front and you see some asshole taking 2 spots, I don't know much more that'll get me going. Like
that. That is an air trigger. Like it's immediate.
And in reality, guys, you know the funny thing is you want to be human about it. Like, dude, what is the difference? Parking 5 spaces back and walking. What does it matter, really? Yeah. But in your mind,
if you're doing that at like a Walmart, and I think you do because you don't mind walking, like Scott will park in the back at a Walmart.
If he does that, I think if you're 10 rows back, you're fine.
In our fucking apartment complex, he's parking right out front.
Because I would say, like, okay, the thing that is the most frustrating in any situation is somebody not being consistent with their morality or with their views or with their worldview.
Yeah, I get you.
No, take this angle. No. You're consistent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like there's something so infuriating about a guy taking up 2 spots, particularly in the front. Because it's like, you cared so much. You fucking drove around. You just had to get that spot right in the front. And then as soon as you were parking, you didn't give a shit anymore. Yeah. You got yours.
Yeah. It's, like I said, there's a whole page I'm friends with that devoted to people just take pictures of people that are parking like assholes. Because there's just something about it that's so fucking annoying. You know what it is for me? Honestly, it's just the arrogance in my mind. In my mind, in reality, most places you go, honestly, in the summer, I park farther back in the Walmart stuff and shit too, because I just think to myself, what's the difference? Why drive up and down, get a walk anyway, get yourself some, heart rate move, whatever. But but there's something in my mind that's so arrogant about it when you see it. It's just like, oh, you think you're better than everybody fucking here. Your car is so fucking special, and your time is so fucking important. Precious that you didn't have to fucking worry
you need
about
to take up 2 spots, and you're up front.
But get back to Scott's story. Honestly, dude, yes, usually alcohol is involved when someone is like doing that.
Belligerent when they're wrong.
When it's sober, and I don't know if this guy was stoned or drunk or not, honestly. But people do it sober too, though. Sober people that when they have the arrogance to be mad when they did something wrong. That's pretty rough, man.
If you ever like backing into a car with your car it should be a very humbling experience. Anytime it happens, like I'm a little shook up. I'm a little bit like, man, oh God.
I'm glad I'm not getting a ticket right now. The guy actually let me off. He said his car isn't that bad.
Like, God, I'm off my goddamn game today or whatever. And just to do that and then immediately get mad at somebody else.
You know what's so funny is like how I do my life, for example, dude, I make mistakes driving. I pull in the lane all of a sudden, like, holy shit, dude, I was kind of out of it. I didn't car beep. But dude, I'm always like, my thing is like, dude, I wish I could fucking I literally wish I could like talk to this person mentally and be like, dude, I'm so fucking sorry. I'm an asshole. I'm an idiot. But these people like that you're describing, dude, that now he's mad at you.
No, because I always think I'm at fault.
Yeah,
most of the time I'm always like, this is my fault. I feel bad. Even
I always go to that it's my fault, honestly, whether it is or isn't usually. And in your situation, Scott, like, holy fuck, this guy created a large.
You almost hit me, then did hit somebody, and now you're fucking coming at me to get out of the way.
Oh my God!
How about you fucking go back in that parking spot and wait until I pass,
dude? Oh my God! I will say this. I stupidly in a situation that you were in with him. I've gotten weirdly. Now the problem is, as I get older, I get more worried that someone's going to pull a fucking gun out or going to some kind of shoot me or punch me.
A little bit of fear.
But having said that, my actual instinct in your situation, Scott, would be like at that point, be like, okay, I'm not moving.
Yeah,
like, you're backing up.
I
mean, and I would just sit there and go,
what I did. Yeah, that's what I did.
What did he end up doing? Did he end up having to back up or something?
They ended up like backing up and then just squeezing by like on the side. Like, because there was just
threw a cigarette at him.
Lit cigarette at my car.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But you're right. Oh my!
Imagine being this guy too. These people just hit your car, and you know what? I'm gonna be cool about it. We're not gonna do the insurance thing. I don't see any dents.
Right.
Fair accident. You guys go on your way and have a good day. And then you immediately see these people screaming at somebody else and throwing a lit cigarette at them. I think only off the wrong assholes.
I think in my life at this point, I will say this. In my life at this point, I get very, very angry in the moment. I probably would have been, if I were you, I'd have been like, this motherfucker. And I'm not just saying this to make myself look at it, but when I move back at like 30 minutes later or something, and like when you're telling me this story, I in the end more just feel bad for this dude. Because what a life he must be living, that's his solution to things in his life. It must be a rough one. Because it wouldn't be my solution.
Yeah. Like, you're yelling at somebody in that situation, you hate yourself so deeply that you're freaking out on somebody who didn't do anything. Honestly, you almost fucked them up.
I know, that's the funny thing. It was your fault. He is the person at fault here. He could have gotten a ticket if he was if that other dude wanted him to get one.
Yep. People talk about karma and stuff, and at least to me, like the concept of karma is more than anything the idea that like you have to live in your own head and you have to be your own company.
Right.
And like all of us, pretty kind people, pretty easy to get along with people. The vast majority of our social interactions are positive.
Right.
Because that's what we put out and that's how we engage. Imagine being like, I've met people like that where it's like, dude, yeah, you're fucking angry all the time. And
I know.
Everybody hates to be around you and all of your social interactions are negative because you're just fighting with people all the time.
Well, dude, this is a story I'll tell you real quick that I just thought of when you're saying that. For example, one time I was at one of these diaper parties, that they'll have.
No.
No, you haven't heard these? It's like when dude, it's a thing that when you know
these diaper parties that people
you ever heard of diaper parties?
We're all just the diapers.
No, with a cherry on top.
No. It's like when they'll have them now when parents
are diaper at a party.
He's still using the voice like this is normal.
Yeah, it is. It is. People will know what a diaper party is. You're just not old enough. You just don't have enough people with kids to know. When people
these days are wearing the diaper.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, well, these days, because they're so expensive, sometimes if people are having a kid, they'll have a diaper party where they'll invite all their friends. People will bring diapers, and then you just have some beers and food and stuff.
I have heard of that. Fair enough.
That is insane.
They need a new name.
They should call it "Give Me Shit Friends Party."
Yeah,
like give me your stuff, give me free money,
or just a fucking baby shower.
Not even the babies are alive. Babies are alive, and they're living. They're just like, hey, friends, we poor. Give us fucking diapers.
Diaper party is a terrible name for it.
No, that's
I shouldn't have, I wish I wouldn't have even said it. Now that I think of it, because that has nothing to do with the story.
My new pet peeve is diaper parties.
Yeah. Why not a baby food party?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I didn't fucking know what to buy, so I just bought a pair of diapers.
We're a poor family party.
Diapers, right?
Yeah, just buy diapers.
Imagine you threw a diaper party and somebody didn't know what it was and they showed up in a diaper.
That's what I would do if somebody said, hey, come to my diaper party.
Well, you would explain
I gotta wear a
it to
bonnet.
you.
I gotta get one of those fucking things in my mouth.
I've never seen a baby in a bonnet before, by the way.
If somebody said, hey, come to my diaper party, we'd be
I'm not going.
We'd be like, oh, well, I guess I'm having an evening at home.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that sounds like it smells terrible.
God damn it. I wish I would have said the name of this guy. The point of the story,
dude. The diaper party.
The point of the story is angry people that walk around. So they were having a bonfire.
That is me right now talking about this diaper party.
And this guy, you know how I can be, guys. Like, I'm just a sarcastic fucking dude. I say things that are very obnoxious at times, but never really meant to be mean. Yep. Very sarcastic, right? And dude, I have a big, as much as I like drinking beer and country music and NASCAR. I don't actually get along with good old boys too well.
Like a commercial
to be honest with you, like you'd think that I would get along with people that are much more small towny guys, but I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said something. This dude got pissed off. I went up to the other part of the party and I was like, yeah, some dude down there, blah, blah, blah. I made some dumb sarcastic remarks. Seems like you want to fight me. And all that into this talk of how many fights you've been in. I'd be like, none. I've not been in a fight in my life.
Yeah, because people like me.
Well, not just that, like, I don't,
not
just that, like, no, I mean, I could have done things that, like, I mean, I could have been in fights at times, but I'm just like, no, I don't want to.
It's a bad thing if you've been in fights. That's
so this guy tells me, he goes,
you in your life, Max.
Right, yeah, I would say that's allowed. But this guy tells me, he goes, oh no, you have to get in a fight once in your life, just so you know what you can do. I'm like, no, I don't.
I need to know what I can do in that situation. I'm not a UFC fighter.
And so you got to think about a guy that his advice to me, a stranger, because this was not a person I knew. I knew most of the people at the party, but there was some friends of friends that I didn't know. And his advice to me was like, dude, no, you have to get in a fight once in your life. Because that way, just so you know what you can do.
Did you then and there get in a fight with this dude?
You should have just sucker punched him.
Yeah, done.
But think about this dude's mindset. That's really where I was
nice, bro.
Right. That exactly. But it's like I remember I was thinking about think about that guy's mindset. That's what a guy like he goes through. He has a thought of that in his head, in his life, and it's like holy shit. Tyler,
you know what else?
To...
It's kind of a side pet peeve, but that goes along with that is people who brag about fights that they've been in.
Oh my god!
And stuff.
Yeah. Oh my god.
First, if somebody's dope or good at a fight, you ain't hearing about it until it comes up in a drunken conversation. Like I feel like that's never being bragged about.
Yeah.
That's like a DL thing. Like, I can handle myself, so I don't need to tell you.
We knew a guy recently who claimed he won a fight against 9 people.
9 people.
Like, no, you
One
didn't.
guy.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Jet Li couldn't win a fight against 9.
I believe Jet Li could win a fight against 9
people. What was the scenario that he won this fight? Do you know?
Did he ever explain the scenario?
He did not explain himself. He just said 9 guys. He said he got in a fight, 9 guys, and he beat them all up.
Oh, Scott, dude. For one,
was
obviously,
it
didn't happen.
Of toddlers?
Right. Well, we already heard that could have been harder than we think. Actually, I remember we talked about it.
I don't believe he could necessarily win a fight against 9 kids.
Dude, but just back to your point, though, Scott,
maybe.
You are right. Like, any dude, any guy that I ever met, like, the idea of, like, I was at the so-and-so bar, and I ended up beating some guy's ass. Like, I'd just be like, okay.
That's sad. That's going on. Are you okay?
And it's never one story with these guys. If one of these guys
you're definitely talking the rest of the night about the experiences they had with their fists.
Yep. No.
It'd be everywhere you go. Oh,
this guy got a knife on me, or this guy had a gun on me, and I took it out. Shut the fuck up.
And he's like, no,
and
you didn't.
If you did, you wouldn't be bragging. Yeah. You'd just be doing it. That was one of my pet peeves is do things. If you're going to say you do things, don't say it, just do it. I hate when people are like, I'm the greatest. It's like, be the greatest.
It's so bad.
And we can fucking like deal with it from there.
So bad.
Tell me what you are. Be the thing you are.
People complimenting themselves. I do.
Oh my God.
The fucking worst.
It's
the worst.
I don't even understand, honest to God, and none of us, we're okay people, but we have our flaws and personnel traits. I certainly have more than my share. But like, I don't even understand how to get into a mindset of telling people things you've done, like complimenting yourself. Like, I don't even understand it, where it comes from or how you think, like what's going in your head. You know what I mean? When you think that you're telling these people this stuff.
You know what's the thing? Like, I know as stand-up comics that we've all dealt with it that I absolutely hate is like when people find out that you've done stand-up comedy, everybody thinks that, they would be a great stand-up comic. They just haven't done it.
But they're going to work through you because then they can't go up on stage, but they want to tell you something to say.
I always tell them to go do it. That's what I always tell them.
Yeah, could you imagine, like, seriously, because people will do that all the time. Oh, man, I got a great joke for you. Feel free to use this in one of your bits.
Right.
And yes. Could you imagine you find out somebody's an engineer and you're like, hey,
I've got a good equation.
Feel free to use this bridge I drew.
Right.
Exactly.
For real, though.
I would actually be, if I got drunk, I would be a great engineer.
Yeah. I do it so good.
God damn it, I don't have a pen. I was gonna just do a shitty drawing and be like, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, give me this bridge.
Yeah, I just drew a bridge. What do you think? That's a fucking great example, dude. Go up to an engineer at a party, be like, yeah, I drew a house. Why don't if you ever need
yeah, I know that you make houses.
Dude,
I got a pretty good one.
Seriously, when I get high, dude, I'm such a great engineer, dude. If you saw me, man, if I just smoked a joint,
it doesn't happen all the time, but like when I get super baked, I can draw a house.
Right. Which I hate that, dude. I've had more than one person say to me, like, "Oh, I could do stand-up comedy, but I'd have to get really stoned first."
Like, no,
I think here's the thing. Make you funnier.
Here's the thing. If
you think you're funnier, man.
If they said it. To me, the only way I allow this to go, and I will, if they say it in more of a way like, man, it's something I wish I could do. I'm too nervous. I'd have to get drunk.
Yeah.
That'd be
that's
one thing.
Respectable.
Right. Because that's just saying, dude, it's a nerve-wracking thing to get up in front of strangers. Yeah. But to just suggest that, if I got high, I could be good at stand-up. Yeah. Then that's like when I used to have people that give me shit about EDM. I used to have this one listener of the Treycast would tell me, like, I could make better songs on the shitter. I'm like, well, dude, these DJs are getting paid millions of dollars, so maybe you should be doing it then. Like, why aren't you doing it?
Seriously, people, that is what I feel like no matter what, stand-up comedy might be one of the worst, but that is the thing with any artistic pursuit is seriously, people who don't do it all think like they could just do it in an afternoon.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Like, I just put this together. You're literally telling me he could put I could make better songs while I was taking shits. And I'm like, okay, well, again, do it because
doing it.
These guys get paid a lot of money to do that. So
we had a situation before. There was a guy I worked with who would constantly do that, where he's like, "Oh, I could be so good. I'd be so good." And we ran a show at the time, and every time he said it, "Come to my show. I'll put you up."
Right.
Like, I'll put you up, man.
Oh, well, I'm busy that night.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I can't do it this weekend. I got to do blah, blah, blah. And it was like 2 years of him trying to say that and then me shutting him down with, come out to my show and I'll put you up on there. And he would never do it. But it's like, yeah, that's some bullshit. I hate that is the case.
You know what's funny? When we were talking about this, I'm actually going to
performance thing.
I'm actually going to bring up another thing I had in my list, only because it honestly kind of is revolved around this. Yeah. And it's not the same, but I think you'll know what I mean. It's kind of the same, though, in a sense. We talked about this a little bit when we did the episode on internet etiquette. But like, it's hit me again recently where like people that just leave negative comments on like here's an example. I just went through back and forth with this about 3 weeks ago. Angels and Airways is coming on a tour. I don't, if you're familiar, that's Tom DeLonge's band from Blink-182. Okay, so he's coming on a tour, and some guy this is not, by the way, on a personal page. This is on like they're making a Facebook advertisement letting people know that the band is coming to town. Like, hey, we're coming to Detroit, August 30th, whatever. And some guy just gone here, they suck. It's like, dude, and I will sometimes go back and forth with people on this because I'll just be like, wow, I'm glad I'll let Tom DeLonge know that John from Birmingham on Facebook thinks you suck, despite that they tour nationally and sell out regularly their shows. Like, it's just, what are you doing?
At that point, you've jumped in the mud puddle, though.
Oh, I know.
Like, that's the thing. It's like,
you're in that shit.
Now you're arguing with the guy who
you're part of the pet peeve.
Oh, dude, this one ended up going back and forth like 8 different times. And I'm just like, but the funny thing is I kept it very positive. I was just like, hey man, all I'm saying is, I get it if you don't like them, but like, why waste your energy, negative energy? And he's like, and he tried, oh my God, he tried to like get me going. He was like, oh, well, sorry. Gen X or millennial, whatever the fucking new one is. I don't remember because I'm technically a millennial, but he used like the most recent one and didn't realize I hope this didn't ruin your whole day and you have to, sit in your parents' basement and cry or something. I'm like, dude, nothing to do with it. It didn't hurt my day at all. I just don't understand why someone
I'm sitting in my parents' basement and smiling.
Right. right, exactly. But it's just like, so I just bring that like to the art thing. When you talk about art, like I can do that. Honestly, a pet peeve of mine is like, dude, I know it sounds so cliche and almost hippie, like, don't say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But like, dude, you are on a fucking page that is just dedicated to letting fans of this band know, hey, they're coming to your town. If you want to see them, here they are. They suck. Okay, dude. Good
take
for
a
you.
lot of time on it. I was gonna say I wanted to get to one of my other ones.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can really quick, just because this is tied into that.
What?
And then just because when we were talking about all of this stuff, like another weird one, like how we were saying the way they do with stand-up comics and bands and stuff like that. One thing, like getting into Magic the last couple of years and being a part of Magic.
Oh my God, I've seen your post, so I kind of know where you're going to go with this. But go ahead.
It's this weird like side thing with that too, where like their flavor of doing that is that like there's a whole ton of people who use that stuff who don't want to put any of the work in and want to use that stuff as like a personality thing. Just be like, oh, like I'm a witch, I'm whatever. And so like, and because Magic is based on intuition and stuff, there's like people who think they don't have to put in any work and they're just naturally gifted. And they can like you'll go on to like tarot stuff or whatever, and people will be like, what should I do? I want to learn how to read tarot cards. And you'll get these idiots being like, well, sleep with the cards under your pillow every night. Or just like really tap into your intuition. Don't doubt yourself. It's like, no, read a fucking book on it.
Right.
Understand like the symbolism behind the cards. Understand like the actual like how to do this skill if you want to do it. It would be like going back to the engineer thing. If you were like, well, how do I become an engineer? And they were like, sleep with some blueprints under your pillow.
Dude, and it honestly goes to Tyler's point too, in a way. Like what you're saying also ties back to what Tyler says. Dude, and maybe we're all just, you could argue adjusted. I mean, we all, again, no one's ever perfectly adjusted, but maybe we've done enough in our lives that we feel comfortable with ourselves. But like, to me, everything, like, just do it then. Just do it.
Yeah.
Using things as your personality, that people will just tell them that. Like Tyler said, like if Tyler wants to tell people like, hey, what's this Eric guy life at, in normal times, if he's not doing the show with you guys, and Tyler will say like, oh, he's this or whatever Tyler thinks of me. And that will be what
the
it
perception
is.
that others will have, or you are the things that others perceive you to be, because if you tell someone something and you don't follow through with that, it's like, you're not that thing. It's just a false front.
Right.
And it's a lot of people, it's so many people do this.
We live in
very insecure people. Honestly, I hate to say it like that, but it's very insecure
people. Like that is such a
I
prevalent
agree.
thing. I am what I like. My opinions on thing. I like this art piece. That's me. That represents me.
Yeah,
it's like, no, it doesn't. You are you. You are fucking an amalgamation.
And by the way, if you just show enough passion for that, like with me and Pat Green, anybody that knows me will just know,
really
like,
care about that stuff. And then talked about art to somebody else, and they were like, wow, they're really knowledgeable about art.
Right. It will just come off.
Because that's what other people are saying about you. But if you tell people,
but that is like the biggest flaw of like our generation and our age group in general is people substituting the things they passively experience and like
and watch. Or rather than like, I put this effort in, I have this skill set, I care about this thing.
You guys, I will say this, and I know I always say our age range. I know we're not like 20 years different, but again, I think it's like 7 years difference or something.
No, 5.
I'm 33.
5?
Okay. So, Dave, I always forget. I always think you guys are younger than you are, I guess. You guys are in that range too. You're right. Like that. I think that you're right on the cusp of the last group of people that still didn't have the internet with them all the time, which I think is a big trigger to a lot of this in reality, having YouTube and stuff your whole life.
Yep.
You were still on that cusp of where you had to like have a personality that wasn't just socially network based.
Mm-hmm. We didn't have a person like a persona.
You had
until I was probably like 16, 17 years old. Before that, it was like, no, I didn't have that front. I had to live in the real world fully.
Right.
And whatever I did and said were who I was.
Right.
And
exactly.
Because I put effort into those things. And then
I want to see something.
The internet is so easy to lie or like make yourself be perceived a certain way. Even if you're like an unattractive woman and you think that you...
Where are you going?
I didn't mean to be specific. say unattractive person, and you want to be perceived as attractive. You can use filters. You can use all this shit that masks what you really are.
Yeah, let me see. By the way, I want to see something real quick.
Bad. I brought it around.
It's all right. It's all right. I want to see something real fast. By the way, so Restream had a new they've done different things to their shit here or whatever, like how they run the thing, and it looks like there's someone has been making a lot of comments today. I want to see if I can show this on it. Let me see how this works. Look at that! Isn't that funny? That's actually badass, dude.
That is cool.
So from now on, if there's comments, like if people comment, it can say their name and their comment. It can show up on the screen like that.
Well, we should do this when we're not live.
I'm just learning about this, and we'll know this for next time from now on.
Cool.
But we wouldn't be able to know this. That's why I could only experiment it live because I would have had to have comments happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, that's pretty cool. All right, go ahead.
I was gonna say
Tyler had one.
I wanted to tell you, this is just a little one, but I know Scott and I've done it. I've definitely done it to people while they were listening. When you're listening to music and have headphones in and someone tries to talk to you, it is infuriating. It is
wait a minute though.
What?
I mean, are you suggesting that in what way? Are you not supposed to be able to be approached because you have headphones on?
Huh?
Are you? Because where are you that you have headphones that they're having to try to have a full on
going for a walk, fucking at work. I do painting by myself, so it's very frustrating when a client will come up and talk to me. Well, they clearly can see I'm in the middle of something and listening to fucking music.
Yeah,
or going for a walk or just doing things.
Do you have a lot of people on walks that come up to you with headphones and want to talk to you?
No, but people will say, I've had people say things to me while I was walking, about something, and then I have to fucking take it out and deal with that.
Seriously, I know.
Like a hobo or somebody trying to get money off me or shit like that. It's
I really hate when I'm at the grocery store with some headphones.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
And somebody's like, sir, you're
see, look at this. This is so cool. We can do this now. Look at we can do this now.
Is that what you hate when you steal from Walmart? Dude, I can't hear you. I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to listen to my music, asshole.
Yeah.
Hey guys, look and see. We can do this now.
What?
I can pull up this comment here. Kelly, he does hate that, and then I can now look at this. Is so professional. I love it. Anyway, go ahead.
This is activating my pet peeves.
Yeah, exactly. Right here. It's happening. It's literally happening. I don't know how you did that either.
It's cool, man. I like it.
We are live doing a podcast.
Yeah,
I understand that.
People what people are saying,
I understand that, but I'm just learning out some new technology that we have that will enhance the show for the viewers that watch on the video.
Yeah, you get a little extra, even though technically they will be able to see the comments in the.
But it won't be as cool like that. It won't be as cool when it pops up on the screen.
That's true. It is a shout out to all these people. Yeah, because if you were passing by in Facebook, you'd see their comments.
It makes it look like we have a badass producer that's really taking really cutting and cutting and taking shit and
it does look like that
for the small fraction of
I gotta say I think that I think this is a ridiculous. I don't know why it's just changing now. Now I want to just stay. No,
I'm doing it.
Oh, you are.
I'm creating a pet peeve for Scott.
This is the worst podcast we've ever done. I'm just gonna say that right now.
I disagree.
Yes, I disagree too.
But I also agree. I also think that your pet peeve is kind of bullshit because, dude, just because you have headphones, so the rest of the world just has they can't approach you in any capacity.
Fuck off. That's what the rest of the world should be doing. Just go fuck off. Why am I dealing with your shit while I'm trying to live my life? Leave me alone. These things in my ear are clearly saying go away.
Now, personally, I wouldn't go up to someone with headphones. Is there what's that a good enough reason? What if you're on a walk and they're like, dude, just let you know there's a house on fire over here. I don't know, or something.
Do I look like a fucking fireman to you?
Well, that was a terrible example. I was trying to think of an example of
that was a bad fucking example. Yeah. That also would hear no. Get the fuck away from me! Who are you?
You set it on fire? What?
Yeah,
I think that my thing is who are you that's so important that you can't be disturbed because you have your headphones on? Oh my!
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a clear indicator that I want you to fuck off. I'm not trying.
But I'm saying, who the hell are you to be so who are you that's so important?
I'm not saying that I'm important. I'm saying that these, as a human thing, are a clear indicator to fuck off. If I wasn't wearing them, that'd be more like I'm receptive to talking. But if I'm wearing headphones and you're trying to talk to me,
I just other than your job when you're painting, I don't feel like it really happens that often. I can't imagine that it does. Because no one comes up and talks to me on a regular. They must just sense that
the only thing I would say is that, like, I probably, if I'm by myself just about anywhere, I probably have headphones in.
Yeah.
So then, like,
I never do. I just don't
never
do that. Nah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Is like, I will say, like, it becomes. I always get annoyed too, but at the same time, it's like, when am I supposed to be interacting with the world if nobody, like, if I'm wearing headphones all the time, then, like, if somebody's got something to say,
that's fair. That's fair. That it's constant thing. It isn't a constant thing for me. When I have them in, I feel like it is me saying, I'm focusing on this thing. Leave me alone.
I think, man, that is I think that maybe if you're at your job, I suppose if you could say something.
No, I never would.
How would anyone know that?
Because that's rude, but, like, because it is a thing. If I see somebody with headphones, I'm not going to talk to them.
I mean, personally, I would never, by the way. I would
hate the nature of your job to painting and stuff, where it's like you'll get somebody who decides they want to be in, like, an hour-long conversation.
Now I'm talking to you, and it's like, nah,
yeah,
dude,
okay.
These are a thing to go away. Like, I'm trying to focus on this thing.
But I think that it's a real arrogant to assume that people would just know that. Although I would know it, by the way, having said that. So.
I would too. If somebody had headphones in and were giving me 1 to 2 word answers, I'd be like, oh, they want me to fuck off. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, there's just you're really dealing with, to me, just more of a nature of so many people just wanting
connection or like fucking interaction. And
you're dealing
like
with people
stuff.
probably that are just, you're dealing with a group of people that could be like that. Like I would imagine. So.
Yes, and it is maybe it's specific to me, but that really does bother me. I don't like it.
Scott, did you have another one that you could bring up by chance?
Okay, I definitely do. Okay,
we're not going to get to bad habits. I'm going to do bad habits another time at this point because we kind of, we've already rolled through enough of these that can be another time.
Okay, this might be a weird one, but, like, I really hate. I am picky in that I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
But, like, other than that, I am not at all picky about taste or anything with food. I hate people that are really picky about food.
Oh my God.
That shit irritates the hell out of me. You know what? Just shut up, and if this is what's available, shove it in your fucking mouth.
Right.
And just keep on going.
Dude, so I get it. Like,
I
you can have preferences.
I agree with you. What do you mean by that? Like, if you think somebody, like, won't eat at a restaurant because
you're like trying to get food or something like that, and somebody's being picky and like, well, I don't really like this place.
I don't
like Taco Bell. You can fucking find something at Taco Bell.
Yeah, get some nachos and cheese.
Right.
Like,
I mean, we all have preferences.
Wholeheartedly.
We all have preferences, obviously. Like, I don't like mushrooms, on my pizza, for example. But again, in that situation, you could get, hey, could you just get half a pizza without mushrooms or something like that? Like, you're right. Like, the idea, like, you can have a preference, but picky people with food, you're right. Like, if you go to like, especially if you go just
I'll eat anywhere. I'll eat anywhere except for Taco Boy.
Like, okay, at the restaurant.
I don't know. Taco Boy, is that a different place?
Sometimes we will order pizza at the restaurant that I work at.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would like a veggie pizza, but, like, other people don't like the veggie pizza, and some people don't like the pepperoni. So they end up getting, like, cheese pizzas. And it's like, so what is this? Now everybody's suffering?
Right.
Nobody gets what they want?
You and your weird hate for cheese pizza.
I love a cheese pizza.
Yeah, me too. It's good. It's good stuff. It's a meal.
Tell me, what is the difference between a cheese pizza and a cheesy breadstick?
It's way different for sure. There's the sauce and the crust and the
sauce
and the tomato.
No, it's a meal compared to a snack.
It's a snack.
No, cheese pizza is a meal. You could eat a cheese pizza for a meal.
Yeah, for sure.
You could eat cheese sticks for a meal then.
Yeah, I know you can, but it's not the same. It's not.
Yeah, if you're in prison, like bread and water. Well, that's like saying what are you talking about?
That's like saying a pancake and a waffle are the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're made kind of by the same batter,
I am thoroughly of the belief that pancakes and waffles both should not be for
I've
breakfast.
decided my pet
What did
peeve
you
is
say?
Scott, and he's a real problem.
Wait a minute, Mr. People with food pickiness, and you just said that pancakes and waffles shouldn't be a breakfast meal?
This is what you're dealing with.
Here's the difference. I will eat it if I have to, but this is.
But why should a waffle not be a breakfast meal? Exactly.
Okay, yeah, because it's just pancake batter. It's the same thing, right? So pancakes and waffles, both literally cake. That's why cake is in the title. You are eating cake.
Waffle it's not a waffle for one. It's not a cake isn't in waffle for one. But
it's the exact same batter.
No, it isn't. It's not the same batter as cake
way
batter.
Differently.
Pancake batter
is not the same as fucking cake batter.
No, it's pancake. It's cake for a pan.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire.
He doesn't even understand. It's like you can have a slight dessert for breakfast. A donut is fine to have for breakfast.
No,
that is a breakfast food. It might be like full of calories and like not great for you, full of sugar. It's still breakfast.
No, it has. There's no nutritional value to any.
You don't need nutrition.
There's not
for it to be breakfast.
But wait a minute.
It's literally the most important meal of the day.
It isn't.
It actually is not the most important meal of the day.
It's a nonsense thing. Where did you get that?
They made that up, dude.
Imagine this. You've gone 12 hours without eating. It's time for you to break your fast.
I understand this. I understand this.
Somebody goes, here's sugar and batter. Have at it, buddy.
Thank you.
I don't think
sugar.
Wait a minute, sugar.
I want syrup.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Batter.
Waffles is not made of, dude. A waffle is not a bunch of sugar for the most. I mean, it's.
It is.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
A lot of sugar, man.
Like waffle mix when you just mix waffle up and you don't put syrup or anything.
You need sugar for that.
Yeah,
you need sugar for that. And there's sugar inside the waffle mix.
I understand that, but I don't put anything on top of it. I don't put syrup, butter, or anything on it.
What are you doing? Just eating bread?
I mean, you have to put syrup. You have to put syrup or butter on it. Right?
One or the other.
Don't put any of them on there.
Dry waffles? No,
yeah,
not waffles. Which is much worse to me. I feel like.
You know what?
You don't even put like peanut butter, like.
Sometimes I'll put eggs on them, but I'll eat them completely dry for sure.
Yeah, what is he?
I will give you. I've never heard of waffles with eggs on them, but that is a breakfast. I'm fine with that.
Okay. That is more of a breakfast.
The only reason, by the way, I'm so defensive about it is I have a waffle iron and I make waffles like a few times a week. So
no, I have a waffle iron too. I fucking love waffles, man.
Yeah, they're fine as a nice dessert with your breakfast. They're fine. It's a nice dessert with your actual breakfast.
Your eggs and bacon is just your breakfast, and then that's a dessert on the side.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what you're doing,
I disagree, but
what world are you living in that's the case? Because every breakfast restaurant I've ever seen, waffles are the main dish, and then the side is eggs and bacon.
I don't even put the shit on them to make them.
Hash browns.
Right, dude. A nice Belgian waffle, dude. A real thick Belgian waffle, dude.
That's your breakfast.
With some powdered sugar on that shit.
God.
I don't put anything on my own personal waffles.
I want to go to IHOP, man.
I want to go to Waffle House, dude. I love Waffle House. I don't care what people say.
I don't like Waffle House. I'm not a huge fan. Their waffles are too thin.
Well, make sure to get some sort of nutrition with it. That's fine. Get you some goddamn potatoes.
Yeah, like syrup.
You're really busting down on one of my key breakfasts that I eat.
Me too, man. I love fucking waffles.
I'm sorry, you are both children heading into middle age eating candy for breakfast.
I'm not eating fucking Eggo
something that is advertised for a breakfast food.
Right. I'm not eating Eggo waffles or some shit. I'm making it at least. I'm ironing up the grill.
Sometimes that's for sure.
You're firing up the grill.
Yeah, firing up the grill.
This is I really have disapproved this last. I liked where it started with, but I didn't like where it went.
Just hating on one of my favorite foods. And Mr. Non-picky food eater over here.
Yeah, who are you to fucking sit there and tell me what a breakfast is?
Yep.
You know the thing about that is, by the way, the whole thing about breakfast, by the way, when did it become, like, if you think about it for real, like this whole deal, like, oh, we'll have breakfast for dinner. what the fuck is the difference if I have a hot dog for breakfast, for example, in the morning, say, and then fucking
sounds kind of gross.
an omelet at night? I know it does because we've been conditioned to it.
Yeah,
but I'm just wondering
with that.
If you
But
think
it
about
does
how
sound
weird,
gross.
but if you think about how weird it is,
sounds gross.
Hot dog for you got a good Frank.
Okay. Well, let me. Okay. Whatever. You know what I mean? Let me.
Hey, I got what you're saying. No,
but like people would look at you weird if you woke up and like, I'm gonna cook a nice fish fillet.
Yeah, like,
and some
fillet.
Some vegetables and like mashed potatoes, right? And then at dinner you have a egg white omelet to be like, whoa, look at this guy. And it's like, what is the difference? In reality,
I don't know, but it makes me feel very upset.
I know, me
This
too.
is honestly pretty
Me
much
too.
how I've lived most of my life. I don't
You can't
follow,
say that food is interchangeable if you're picky about it.
I don't follow the time constraints.
He doesn't.
When it
No. He definitely has lunch at 4.
Yeah.
When he wakes up from his vampire slumber.
Right.
That is
Well, I will say, I mean,
Scott does not give a shit about time frames.
I had
Breakfast ends at noon. It ends at noon.
I think breakfast ends at like 10 to me.
I said McDonald's rules 11.
McDonald's has 24-hour breakfast.
No, they don't. They don't got all the breakfast stuff 24 hours. They ain't got pancakes.
Yeah, because it's a dessert.
No, because that's a specifically.
I will say this. I've been for like more than a year now. I do the intermediate fasting thing.
Is
So
your
I don't really.
opinion on things. Your opinion on pancakes?
What is the
Your
difference?
opinion on dishwashers?
Okay, wait.
It's all
Even if
whack.
you're gonna say that a pancake is just a sugary thing, then it still doesn't matter when you eat it. It's sold as a breakfast meal, though. It is sold as a breakfast meal. You don't sell
because
so that's what it is.
Yeah, crooks. The breakfast industry are a bunch of crooks. I don't.
Well, that is where the most important meal of the day came from, right? The cereal fucking industry just created it.
Every lie has a grain of truth in it.
Oh, does it? He is working for big cereal and hates pancakes.
Oh, I hate cereal. You want to get into cereal?
Oh, cereal's terrible. I don't eat it.
You guys are wrong.
Yeah, just let me
delicious.
pour some milk on my candy.
I know, dude. I know. It's ridiculous.
You're making my mouth water. Like,
I hate cereal. I hate it.
It's so good.
Literally, cereal is so much candy that there are multiple cereals that are just a cereal version of a candy.
Oh, I know. Just fucking
literally
just cookies.
little tiny cookies.
Reese's.
Man, if there's a heaven for me, it is filled with pancakes and cereal.
You should go to this. I forget where it is. There's this bar I saw on Facebook recently.
Like a cereal bar?
What's up?
Is it like a cereal bar?
Yeah.
I've heard of those. I've never been to one. I would love to.
It looked cool, even though I hate cereal. It still looked cool to me because I liked all the colory boxes. But
like the experience would be cool, but you wouldn't like the food.
They had a cereal bar at Electric Forest the one time. One of those food vendors.
I do remember that. We never got it.
No, because I hate cereal. That's why I didn't get it.
That's just literally like pet kibble for people.
Right.
I'm fine. What is it? So what? What is it?
Serving up a bowl of diabetes.
Yes, please, and refill it and give me more milk.
Seriously, if you go your whole life without getting type 2 diabetes, I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah, I won't. I'll never get it.
One bowl of cereal.
Yeah, you're hoping for my type 2 diabetes? Like I said, my pet peeve today, Scott.
I will say I do
diabetes. Hoping for my death through diabetes.
I do think, Scott, that your pet peeve of food pickiness in the end lent to you revealing that you have quite a bit of pickiness.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
Because in the end, by the way,
nobody else here except for Scott was complaining about food.
Wait a minute. Even in his pizza example, if he says what's there is there, so he says he's at the job. Oh, they don't want veggies. They don't want this. Well, I'll get a cheese pizza. Why are we all suffering? Well, what does it matter?
Yeah. Look in the mirror. Take really take it in,
and eat that goddamn cheese pizza because it doesn't matter.
And you need to deal with that because you're a picky eater, apparently.
I don't think he's a picky eater. I just think he's a very judgmental eater.
I think he is. I think we've discovered that through this conversation.
No,
I don't
he's not
think
picky.
candy should be meals.
Picky?
If that makes me a picky eater,
Picky?
That's the American way.
What else? Whether you're going to say something about cheese pizza? Some more picky stuff? I don't have a single thing I complain about any of the things we talked about. I'd eat it up.
Well, I don't like cereal, so I'll give you that. So it's all right.
But you literally said it was a problem for you. That picky eaters are annoying. It's like, yeah.
I'm the pickiest eater out of the three of us.
Yes, he is. Which is, you're the one who brought.
I mean, dude, you know what's weird is, like,
is beautiful.
What's weird is, I will say this though. In the end, though, in some sense, when it comes to food, maybe not Tyler, I suppose, we all actually are picky in our own way. Again, just like with pet peeves, almost to take it like full circle. The reality is that almost you'll hear almost everybody complain. Like almost nobody. Or let me say this. Almost everybody would agree if you said, don't you hate picky eaters? Everyone would say yes.
Yeah.
But the reality is every one of those people has something in their world.
I just think I love the fact that Scott was the one who brought it up and then proceeded that conversation with several things he was picky about.
I mean, no, see, I don't think the only story I think he said it was picky to me was the pizza story at work. The other ones are just judgmental.
Waffles.
But those are judgmental. He's not actually saying he wouldn't eat them. He's just saying he's judging people for eating them.
No, I'll eat them.
Judging people for eating them is still picky, right?
I think that's different to me. I think that's different. I think in the end, if we're sitting there and if we're like on a road trip and it's been 10 hours and for some reason we just couldn't stop, I think he's going to eat a waffle. Yeah. Like that's my point.
Okay.
He's not going to.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But if you have
but he will judge us for eating it with him and say, "This is cake. You guys are jackass. Nobody's birthday. Why do we got cake?"
No, if you're starving in the middle of a desert and all you have is cake, then eat that cake.
I disagree that the pancakes and cake are an equivalent, though. Like, I understand there's some sugar in it.
This debate has been eons going on.
I understand there's some sugar in what would make a pancake, but it is not the same as a vanilla cake with frosting and shit.
Yeah, because there's no frosting.
No,
which is what the
it tastes different. It's less sugary.
I need to look into what the average amount of sugar is in a pancake versus a cake. I cannot imagine it's the same. It cannot be the same.
With syrup?
Well, I'm not counting syrup. I'm just counting pancakes.
Most people have syrup.
He's having dry pancakes.
But I eat pancakes dry too.
I can respect that. I
cannot. I will have none of it. Disrespect.
Actually, like when I camp,
syrup on that bitch.
When I camp, dude, I make what I call pancake biscuits. Basically, I'll make pancakes on my little griddle, and I just eat them right off the griddle. No syrup, nothing.
I mean, little pancakes. I've done that with too, like as a snack.
I'll throw butter on mine.
Or butter, yeah. Or butter I'll get a little couple of syrup and then dip it. That's my jam.
Too sugary for me. I don't got a sweet tooth. That's why I don't really like cereal.
It just feels wrong to eat pancakes without syrup.
I get it.
Yeah, it does. You're a sugar addict. Addict would be like it feels wrong
to not have heroin.
Right.
It does feel wrong.
Well, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up on that. We didn't get the bad habits, so what I'm gonna do is I don't know if I'll do it next, but we'll do that as a separate episode because I had a few ones that would have been really funny to talk about, but we didn't even get into bad habits. We just kind of talked about pet peeves that we had in fast food for a little bit, which is fine. I'm okay with it. And so that is 2 Hippies, 1 Drunk for this week. Thanks for listening and checking us out. If you haven't once again subscribed or liked our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, gone on and give us a rating, a 5-star rating on the iTunes. If you remember, you can, if you rate us 5 stars on iTunes and send us a screenshot, you can get a chance to get one of Tyler's drawings that he's done or a tarot card reading from Scott. So there's that. And you can hit us up through the Facebook page if you do that. Are you guys still showing?
Are we not doing final thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Final thoughts. I forgot about that. Sorry. Let's go at it.
Yeah. Okay. So there's candy and then there's food. And
those two things can coexist together. Food. Candy is food.
No.
Candy is food. Candy is food. It is food. It's animal.
Wow, dude, that is a sugar addict. You got a sugar addict over there.
Yeah. Don't fucking get in the way of my sugar.
So I'm saying it's like arguing with a heroin addict.
Yes, it is. I will beat you to death so that I will get my point about my sugar across.
Anyway,
and then steal your money and go get some cereal.
Candy, food, 2 separate things. They exist separately.
Same thing.
And never the twain shall meet.
Same thing.
So I'm trying to look up real quick how much sugar is in a plain waffle. And now this says, I mean, this is just Google, so obviously there could be, but it could show up how much sugar is in a plain waffle, and the carbohydrates, fiber. Now this says for here, in this first one that came up, it says 4 grams of sugar. Now I don't know what that means per what.
Like per waffle?
Yeah.
It's interesting you looked up waffle instead of pancake.
Oh, because I don't eat pancakes that often at all.
Yeah,
honestly. I don't like pancakes
that often either.
I eat waffles.
Very good. Waffles are better. So 4 grams, that ain't bad.
That's less than I would have thought. I bet you it's a tiny ass waffle. I'll bet you your waffles. I'll bet you a big waffle like you would eat with syrup on it. I bet you that's 30 grams. Like
yeah, you know what? You have to do a slice. Let me see, a slice of cake, not just a cake, right? Because
yeah,
I don't know if it'll show up.
You're not eating a whole cake,
right. I don't know if it'll show up, but we'll see. The average sugar content in cakes. God,
Man,
it looks like
the listeners are interested in that.
I know. I don't care. Serving of trying to think here. Shit, it doesn't. The problem is a cake is a lot harder apparently to define. It says the average sugar content in cakes was 7 grams. There's a large, very blah blah blah.
7 grams compared to 4. So we're talking about 2 very small portions of both of these.
I'd have to look. Yeah, I'd have to look further into this.
A piece of cake and then
fast.
I'm saying you looked it up. 7 grams, because neither one of those. 7. There's more.
You're just saying numbers. All I know is they're delicious. I'll continue eating them.
I don't know. I'm actually the only reason I was even looking at
diabetes.
It will.
The only reason I was looking it up is that I legitimately never saw eating waffle like as that. I honestly never saw it like that. I didn't think I was eating necessarily healthy, but I didn't think I was eating.
It takes a picky eater to point that out.
I love that you just looked that up and it confirmed.
It didn't confirm shit. It's just saying fucking random fucking numbers. It didn't say
I have to look further.
The goddamn thing.
I have to look further.
My final thought is eat whatever the fuck you want all the time. It's life. Live it.
There you go. Wow.
And maybe enjoy it every once in a while. And cheese pizza is a meal.
That is a 3-year-old's. That is a 3-year-old raiding the cabinets
mentality. Build a fucking tower of chocolate and fudge. And just eat it.
Gross. I'm trying to think. I'm not a sweet tooth guy though. I'm not. Dude, I eat Reese's peanut butter cups. That's like my a guilty pleasure. But other than that, dude, I don't eat donuts. I never go and get candy.
I'm
in
a salt
gas
and
station.
butter guy for a snack.
Okay. I don't know if I have a final thought. My final thought would probably just be, I fucking hate if you're listening to this and you fucking park your car in 2 lanes, you're a terrible human being. I don't care what your excuse is.
We here at 2 Hippies, 1 Drunk hate you.
What if you're hosting this and you do that?
Then we're coming for you. We're gonna get a new host.
Right.
It's time to mosey on up.
Right. Okay. So I guess that's it for the week here. Thanks for listening and whatnot. Tyler next? No, Scott's next week. Scott, do you know what you're talking about?
Okay. So, after going kind of heavy the last couple of weeks, I wanted to do something lighter, and I'm going to look up a bunch of weird sex fetishes people have. And
awesome.
We can talk about them.
Yeah,
awesome.
Lighter. Yeah, that's the word he used.
Right.
Sex fetishes involving adults after 3 episodes about sex fetishes involving children. So
well, it's the same difference. It is
about
much different.
Children being abused.
Yeah. Now this is about adults abusing themselves with their weird sex acts.
Right.
Lighter.
Much different. Much different.
This is as light as I get.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because honestly, okay. This is as light as I get.
I mean, that's fair, dude.
You're
that's
a
fair.
beacon in the dark with your sex fetish shit. Okay.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for checking out the 2 Hippies, 1 Drunk podcast.